with another maple that I couldn't find there on the old proposal. The other thing is, if you look at, well, I've got a picture there too showing that maple tree. If you want to reference that, it's the middle one, number 3, and on the 2-picture page, it's also, you know, I got a little indicator there saying maple tree, so you will get the location of where it's at. And then the other thing we talked about, the wild cherries. The wild cherry is kind of a trash tree. It grows under other trees and it drops cherries, and it's really kind of an ugly tree and everything. We have 2 of those. One of them would be behind the memorial once it was constructed, and that will be in your. We got 3 photos in the very right side. It said wild cherry. It's just kind of a smaller tree that goes up and kind of crosses over. And the other one is on the front page, which is 2 photos. It says wild cherry. And I think, Michael, we talked about that one time before, that it needs to be removed, but I think what it probably is a stump that has been cut down at some point, and it's just scrubby stubs that's sticking up. So I think for the sake of the shelter and the memorial or whatever, appearance-wise, they proposed to remove those 2 maple trees, and those 2 wild cherry trees, and grind the stumps of those at the same time. And then they got their agreement, you know, about they remove all 3 and said that. So, what I'm asking for is for the town to assume the responsibility of the maple tree and the smaller wild cherries, which comes to total $775. The VFW assumed the $600, $800 for the group pruning and the fertilization. The good thing is about it, on the old proposal, they want to deep fertilize the whole group of tree because of the potential damage been done, and they have eliminated that. And they also had a proposal on there for $800 to put up a guard around the tree. But Mr. White, through my discussion, he conveyed to me that the trees had, over the period from 2007 until now, they have recovered remarkably well. And he also commented the fact that the mulch was put down and everything really helped the healing process and everything. So that's a good thing the town done. So with that, I'll take any questions if I can.
George, do you have a copy of this?
No.
Okay.
I'll use mine if you like.
Yeah, let him look at this, because I was going to ask if we had already planned to take action on these anyway. Have y'all already discussed doing anything with these 2 that are pictured?
No,
Okay,
but I'm aware of
right.
where these trees are and the decay on the maple. We already removed one of them.
Yeah, and that was the one that he couldn't find.
Yeah, and I think this
Wasn't
is
aware of
something
that.
that we didn't really know about or discover until yesterday. So that's why it's kind of a new surprise. And
We had talked about removing that cherry, but
It's a small tree. It's not.
yeah, and this is optional. The only reason that, you know, I could go and pull it out with a backhoe, either one of them. But my concern is I don't want to do any damage to the roots and then take more root pruning or whatever. And if we can just simply remove them, then, you know, a grinder come in there and you do the whole thing. So,
I don't, can I say something? We would probably be in a position where we would do this anyway in the next couple of years, just we remove trees that have potential to damage.
well, it becomes a liability.
And the cherry, we've already had people request us to remove that cherry by the picnic shelter because it's open. But and the other one, it's obviously not going to grow very well like that.
Well, it's underneath, and it doesn't really harm them, but it's kind of optional or whatever, but, you know, I think this is the proper way to remove it, you know, with the.
One of the problems that we have with grinding stumps out is that you're also grinding neighboring tree roots at the same time. So limited stump grinding I can see. In other words, directly going down deep where the stump is and not the roots. The roots will have to rot out on their own. Otherwise, I'm grinding the life with roots at the same
I
time.
agree 100%. You can still have some roots that can be close proximity of the stump itself that you may damage. We're dealing with certified arborists here, and if they don't know what they're doing, then there's no one else with more authority as far as I'm concerned.
So you talking about how much money down?
$775. That's to remove the maple and the 2 cherry trees, and if the town feels like it, the VFW should be responsible for that cherry trees.
Can the town get bids to do this?
My only concern is we work with Navy, during the whole process and everything, and I know as long as they're certified arborists, we have no problem with them one way or the other. So, if you need.
Our recommendation is that we take out of Davy the 175 and 600 we bid, which we would normally do. And then if Davy wants to bid on it, they can bid on it, but then we wouldn't pay you to then pay Davy. We would pay Davy direct.
Well, that's what we want, of course.
All right, so
Yes,
sure.
yeah. I'm not going to come to VFW. We would pay the other part responsible for it straight to VFW. I think that would, the VFW would, I think that'd be the proper way to do it.
No.
That's why I say we're not asking for money, we're asking for the correction of the tree problem, the potential tree problem.
Before your construction begins, which.
Before
it's done, yeah.
it starts, and the root pruning, just to update, I talked to him about that, and that would be prior to any digging or anything, because that's part of the process is to trench the roots and, to prune them and then fertilize them before we even do any extra
You
work.
have a time frame for
Yeah, I
that?
said, how soon does that get done before construction of the corn?
Well, he said to do it year round. As soon as you do it, you can go ahead and start your construction.
Right, but I guess what I'm asking is that, how soon do you think you're gonna be under construction? If they
Very
prune the
soon.
roots today, if they prune the roots today and you don't build for a year.
Then you'd have to
you have
redo it.
again.
That's exactly right.
So is
Yeah.
this gonna be a case where you wait until, you know that you're gonna be doing construction? and then-
Well, I think we probably, if the funds were available, we got a projected date now, July 4th.
2010.
Of doing our, dedicating memorial with the fundraising all good success.
Oh, it would be a building in between now and July 4th, 2010.
Yeah, it's gonna be dedicated in July 4th, 2010.
Yeah, we built it.
So they're gonna start construction as soon as we get the electric money.
I mean, we're in a point now, they say they do it year round, but if, we'd probably go ahead and get the root pruning all done, we'd like to do it all at one time. Now, if bids needs to come in, from other companies and everything, which would be the town procedure, I'm sure, and that's fine, because it doesn't matter to VFW who does it, and certainly the town that's actually the town's control as far as getting it done, but,
Well, we've got funds for doing this type of work in the budget now, so it's not a budget limit. It's just, we basically, we're on
just
notice.
approve.
So, this is, I don't need anything from you, to tell the truth.
Thank you for bringing us that. I'm excited to hear
It's
about.
really a lot different than what we had, what I originally was going to bring in. I talked to the mayor before the meeting and everything, and told him, it is good news for both sides, really, I think.
Yeah.
We remove the maple anyway, probably in the next year or two, regardless. And then, like I said, the cherry trees, one we were thinking about doing it anyway, the second one, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, they're kind of like that, they're kind of trash free anyway, and they're not going to do well on those.
Well, this won't take very long, it's a small project. We can bid it out in a couple days.
No,